Good morning, Corey, Yvonne, Gabby. Good morning, Carrie. Morning, Sonia. I've been chatting with you all morning about food. Oh. Good morning, ladies. How's everyone this morning? Narcs are demons. Good morning, Marie. Oh, I've had a nice morning chatting with Sonia about food. I just want a personal chef. I mean, I love to cook, but I'm not all that creative sometimes. Good. Sonia, maybe one of these days I'll hire you to be my personal chef, should I ever hit the big times. Miriam. Okay, I know we've got people out in Nova Scotia. I'm okay, just feel bad breaking no contact. That's just withdrawals, honey. You're just going through withdrawals. So the guilt is part of that. I hear you. I need some help in that department, especially with nutrition and taking care of myself. Oh, well, maybe I'll have to get a nutritionist on here or someone who's found some. It's a good idea. Good morning, Shauna. Yeah, nutritionist would be a good idea, I think, hey? So I figured out why I get this gold thing going on. It's my bronzer. And then I sit in front of my living room window to do these lives, and because it's where I get the best light, but it's also where I sparkle. So this is not my skin. I mean, I have really good skin. I went for a skincare analysis yesterday or a couple days ago at a medical aesthetic clinic, and I have the skin of a 35-year-old, and I'm 46. So I do take really good care of my skin, but this is all my bronzer. So I'll continue to shine gold every time I catch the sun. Thanks, Narcs or Demons. I know, right, Sonia? Yeah, I've got really good genes. All of the women in my family look younger than they are, but I don't smoke. I quit smoking 20 years ago. I used to be a pack-a-day smoker, and I quit smoking 20 years ago. And I take really good care of my skin. I hydrate. I drink like 80 ounces of water a day. They say that you're supposed to take your body weight, divide it in two, and then those are how many ounces you're supposed to drink. I'm not even 160 pounds, but I still drink 80 ounces of water a day. I've gotten so obsessed with skincare over the past year. You know what? It's incredible because I remember when I was with the NARC, my skin didn't really glow all the time. My skin was a reflection of what was going on in my life, and even though I took care of it, it didn't look like it does now. Even without the bronzer, my skin's pretty good. I feel terrible that I'm glowing like this. Good morning, Scarlett. Before I have kids, good morning. I don't think I've seen you here before. So yeah, now I glow differently. You know, that's what happens when you're happy. Yeah, I used to get really big cystic pimples on my chin. And it was, Scarlett, are you home today? And it was, they were painful, like painful. Oh, right? They age us. I swear to God, I lost 160 pounds as soon as I walked out that front door. But I've also, because I'm happy, because I'm taking care of myself, and because Sonia and I were talking this morning about diet and reducing the inflammation within our bodies, I was always leaned more towards the vegetarian aspect of eating. And I ended up eating really unhealthy foods when I was with him. He cooked in high fats, high carbs, high proteins, like not really, it tasted good, but it wasn't healthy. And I couldn't adjust the meal at all, or I'd get in shit. I couldn't cook anything else for myself, or I'd get in shit. So, you know, I ended up eating really not well. And so now it's like doing that whole reset and bringing the inflammation down in my body. So leaning more towards, I want to say plant-based, but Yeah, I really love my cheese. I really love cream and honey in my coffee. So I can't say I'm a vegan plant-based. Plus, it's really hard to be vegan. There's so much gluten in everything, and I'm gluten free. Scarlett and I went to an event at our friend Denise's vegan cafe one night, and they didn't have anything that was gluten free. So I thought, well, I'll just eat it anyway. I was violently ill. I came home and I was violently ill. And of course, we had a couple glasses of red wine while we were there, and everything came up red. It was like someone was massacred in my bathroom. It was terrible. I was so violently ill, and I couldn't actually eat anything for about 3 days afterwards. Vegan is a religion. Gypsy Mama, it's funny because our friend Denise, I've had to tell her, as much as I love you, you are like vegan thumping. You're vegan thumping. I appreciate veganism. I understand why people choose veganism. But don't be knocking on my door and telling me that I should be a vegan. I've already had somebody telling me how I should be living my life. I'll choose for myself. Thank you. I think it's really hard for people to understand, especially when it becomes a moralistic thing and you choose to do something out of morals, and then you have to, it's like being a born again Christian, and how once you discover something so fantastic and all of a sudden everybody needs to know and it becomes gospel. Well, it's not gospel for everyone. I have the utmost respect for anyone and however they choose to eat. If you want to do keto, do keto. Do what's best for you. You want to be vegan and live that life, but do what's best for you. Do you take vitamins in your daily routine? Your skin looks amazing. Yes, I'm actually taking a lot of vitamins to help bring down the cortisol in my body right now. So a lot of vitamins, magnesium. I also take collagen, so that helps plump up my skin a little bit. I'm 46, and as we age, we lose that collagen and that elasticity in our skin, and that's when our skin starts to become saggy. So I'm very conscious of not aging. I don't want to age. I do want to age, but I'm learning ways to slow that down a little. Prenatal vitamins are really good too. How do you take collagen? So you can buy collagen in powder form that you can add to shakes or to your drinks. You can do the bulletproof coffee kind of thing. So you can take collagen that way. I have both. I have the powder and I have pill form, like vitamin form. So, but I mean, anything that's like gelatin. If you have Jello, there's gonna be collagen in that too. I'm fighting it all the way. Don't want to age. You know what? I really love aging. I really do. I'm finding that my body's responding to things differently. I've developed tendonitis in both my elbows and wrists over the last couple of years, and that has a lot to do with going back to if your religion or your veganism, of course, might not allow you to take gelatin because it's animal-based. Collagen's animal-based. But anyway, I ended up having to go and get my first cortisone shot in my elbow yesterday because I can't even function with my wrists. And I'm a writer, and I'm a coach, and I serve at a bar part-time, a couple days a week. So I needed to get that under control. And it's really empowering to understand that we have the ability to make these decisions for our bodies now. Because I used to talk about all kinds of beauty treatments with the narc, and he just absolutely refused for me to take care of myself, which was bizarre. So anyway, now there's this whole level of empowerment that comes with being able to take care of myself. That's not what we're here to talk about today, though. Yesterday, I made a post about being alone, and there's something else I wanted to add to that also. And I meant to get a meme going this morning, but I've been busy chatting with a few people here on Instagram, and also I still have this ongoing dialogue with Chris about that book that we're going to be discussing. But we're here to talk about being alone and Are you healing or are you distracting yourself? Think about that for a second while I take a sip of my coffee. Being alone, I have not had any issue with any time in my life. And actually, I was a single mom at 16 years old, and I had to learn pretty quickly. I grew up with my child. I really did. I grew up with my daughter. So, because I was a child myself. But I relished any time that I had to myself because I'm believe it or not, I'm more of an ambivert than I am an extrovert or an introvert. So I need that recharge time, and I never had that when I was with the narcissist. So, because even though there were times when he worked out of town, he would manage to maintain psychological control through text messaging. And they do this. It doesn't matter where they are in the world. Pardon me. They'll text message you. Good morning, Teresa. Good morning, Mama's Boop. Good morning, Melissa. Really listen to what I'm saying about being alone, because this is essential to our healing. This is essential to our healing. So I never, and I'm sure many of you here, never got the mental and emotional space that you needed within the relationship. Like I said, the narc could be gone and he would have total control over, he'd manufacture that control through text messaging me constantly. I never felt like I was alone or I could breathe. So when I first moved out, I was so freaking glad to be in my own space again. I was so happy to be alone and to be able to breathe and to be able to exhale and to be able to listen to silence in my house. He always had to have the TV on. It was always stuff that I never ever watched. And I'm not judging anybody if these are the programs you watch, but Jerry Springer, Maury Povich, all these murder mysteries, and all of these shows that would never intellectually stimulate my brain. So this is how he dumbed me down too. Is I never got to watch the programs that I wanted. I'm a huge Oprah Winfrey fan, and I love her network, and I love watching her programs. But unless it was something that he wanted to watch, I wasn't allowed to watch it. So I really lost memory, and my brain stopped growing. It atrophied. I've often said that my brain has atrophied. The music, yeah, that's right, Shauna, the music was always on, always loud. So you couldn't even hear yourself think. So I move into this space where I'm by myself and I can breathe and I have silence and I wasn't allowed, I love heavy metal. I'm a rocker chick through and through, but I was never allowed to listen to anything else but the heaviest of the heavy metal. And it had to be what he wanted to listen to. So to come in here, you know what? I'm not even a country fan. You wouldn't believe how much country I play in my house now. Sugarland, Chris Stapleton, Keith Urban. I play all that stuff now because I'm finding a new appreciation for it. So being alone also came with some other challenges. Oh, hold on, slow down. Before I get into the next challenge, he always wanted to watch football. Now I can't stop. Yeah, listen, he's ruined hockey for me for life. I grew up in a hockey household. My brothers played hockey. We lived and breathed hockey. We're Canadian. This is what we do. And he traumatized me with hockey because he would sit there and yell at the TV and everything was personal. And, I can't even watch hockey. One of my best friends, Scarlett, is a huge hockey nut, and I'm not interested. I can't be interested because I'm traumatized watching hockey. So anyway, I want to talk about when I first moved in here, and I had this really great space to heal. But what ended up happening was I ended up distracting myself. Thanks, Scarlett. I'm not, yeah. You're on your own with hockey, honey. We've got other things. So I ended up being in this space where I could do whatever I wanted. So what I first started doing I thought, I'm going to heal. I'm going to get my shit together. Part of healing, though, sometimes is being distracted. And I actually gave one of my clients permission yesterday to go get distracted, go have some fun, get out of your head, get out of what you're doing, distract yourself. You need some healthy distraction, but there's a difference between a healthy distraction and an unhealthy distraction. And I was celebrating every single day when we were apart, for the first month we were apart, and that meant a lot of drinking. That meant a lot of drinking. It meant a lot of partying with my friends. It was the holiday season. I left in the holiday season, so there was all of these events going on. And I got really distracted because when you're out having fun and you're partying and you're having a good time, and the next day doesn't always feel so good. So then I'd sit here on Instagram and I'd look at all these memes and I'd numb myself with the internet. And I've been a long time Young and the Restless fan, and I would dive into daytime TV. I mean, I would just occasionally watch Young and the Restless or PVR it and then binge. But I mean, I was watching daytime TV just to avoid. And quite honestly, I needed that. I needed to distract myself. I had been through trauma. I'd been through intense emotional, psychological, and physical pain. And I needed to be able, just so you know, Penny always comes out here and checks who I'm talking to in the morning, and then she goes back to bed. So if you hear her rattling, that's what it is. But I really started to numb myself. But I was giving myself a break. Scarlett was always telling me, just relax, Trish. Like, you've been through hell, just relax. And there's a time and a place for that. But if you are avoiding every other aspect in your life, in spite of the narc, that's not healing. That's not healing. That's avoidance. If all you're doing is posting a million memes, trash talking the narc, or getting into tailspinning of the narc in these negative conversations, it's not healthy. Sorry, I'm distracted. I don't know what is a Canadian show. Young and the Restless is not a Canadian show. But anyway, if you're avoiding your laundry, you're avoiding eating properly, you're avoiding, everyday things that need your attention, that's not healing anymore. That is distracting yourself from the healing. Couldn't even watch the news. He controlled everything I watched. He would go far to check the history setting. He was stripping my identity. Yeah, they do. Good job. Yvonne's 6 months free. Amen, sister. Show her some love. 6 months narc free. That's amazing. So, you've got to recognize when you're distracting so that you can give your mind a break and give your spirit a break, give your body a break. And you've got to because there is a healthy distraction. There is healthy distraction. You need that, or else you become too engrossed in discovering who the bloody narc is and reading up on all the behaviors and all of these things. So you need to have certain distractions so that that doesn't consume you. But if you're avoiding your everyday life, cooking, and you're ordering out all the time, and you're not doing your laundry, you're not washing your dishes, you're totally, and self-obsession too is not healthy. All of these things are distractions that are not allowing you to heal. How many times Scarlett and I have this little saying, fuck this shit, fuck that guy. And it doesn't even matter what it pertains to. That's our response to when something is like, yeah, it doesn't deserve our attention. Fuck this shit, fuck that guy. But if you're using that to make excuses, you're using that to be in spite of the narcissist, that's not healthy. If you're going to sit here and call him names and be angry in your tone or in your writing with him, That's not healthy, and it's not healing. That's distracting. It's distracting yourself by saying that you're not. When you're healed, and when you're working on that healing with yourself, you don't need to be angry or say mean things about the narc anymore. You just get to go about your life. You just get to go about your life, and they're not even here. They're so far fucking gone that they have no impact on your daily living. You can have a conversation without calling them names. You can have a conversation without being angry. You can have a conversation to not tell another story about them. The stories I tell here, this is part of the work I do. But when I'm out with my friends, when I'm here with you, I'm telling these stories because this is where we connect. This is where we heal. When I'm out with my friends, I don't talk about them. If I bring them up, it's because of something that pertains to this, or, of course I'm going through places that might trigger a memory, and I'll mention something to Scarlett and we'll laugh, but I'm not angry anymore. And because that I've released myself from that shame. So you've got to understand the difference of distracting yourself to heal and distracting yourself to avoid healing. Melissa says, I have 3 kids and took him for child support, but now I'm scared that he will try and say that he's paying child support so that he can get visitation. I need advice, please. Talk to a lawyer. Talk to a lawyer. When your kids are involved, you need to have legal advice. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a doctor. I'm a coach. These are 2 totally different things, 3 totally different things. And that as a coach, that's my advice. Talk to a lawyer. Whenever somebody's starting to manipulate funds with child support or alimony or anything like that, you need to get legal advice. And a lot of lawyers, there's legal aid out there. A lot of lawyers will offer free consultations. There's no reason that you can't call a lawyer and ask for that piece of advice. We got a few people joining now. I don't get child support. He's a deadbeat. You know what? And sometimes you have to just accept the fact that you're not going to see any money from them. And it's really way more empowering. Please. Okay. See us. She's jazzy. It's way more empowering just to stop depending on that money coming through. And if it does come through, great. Great, but you're not counting on it. It's a bonus if it comes through. Count on yourself. That's the one person you can count on to provide for yourself. And if you never, Shauna says she never got child support at all. Yeah, Sonia's right. Ask a women's shelter what professional contacts they have. It's different in I don't have a list of all these things because I live in Edmonton, Canada. It's different everywhere you live in the world, and what's available to you is different. So please reach out to those shelters, reach out to legal aid, talk to lawyers. These professionals are there to provide you advice, and some advice is free. So I lost my train of thought. That happens a lot, It's like I have dementia, and I'm having to do these exercises to rebuild my memory. It's okay. I remember to be here every day. This is what you do, is you create patterns. You create new patterns, new routines for yourself so that you can reestablish a new lifestyle. And then eventually you can go and start changing. I got $24 child support and worked 3 jobs to support my babies. You know what? My narc father, he used to send... My mom only wanted $100 a month for 2 children. That's $50 a child. And this was back in the 70s and 80s, but still $100 a month. And my dad would send, routine and schedule is very important for rebuilding your brain and clearing that fog. So once you get that routine and that schedule going, then you can start implementing new things. But right now, when you're healing and you're trying to create, get rid of that brain fog and create new memory patterns, routine and schedule are so important. Bedtime, scheduled bedtime. routine at bedtime is so important. So anyway, my dad, sorry, I'm all over the place, but see, this is what happens, and it can be fixed. I'm working on it. My dad actually sent me a letter from Mexico one month with a little gift of these. I still have these earrings. They're moonstone earrings. And he told me to let my mom know, this is triangulation, let my mom know that he wouldn't be sending child support that month because he was in Mexico for the winter. This is how they behave. So what happened, what my mom did was she never counted on that money. And if he ever did send it, she just gave it to us. She gave 50 to me and 50 to Jason. And that was how she just dealt with things. It was not anything, she just refused to count on him for any kind of support. He was never there for us to help take care of us physically, and he never did financially either. So the best thing, I'm starting a new job this week. I would not ever had this opportunity. You should be proud of yourself, Melissa. This is your independence, and congratulations on the new job. Independence is so important and something we're stripped of when we're with the narcissist. So very happy for you. You are getting on with your life, and that's incredible. So just don't count on the money. You'll spend a lot of energy. And I'm not saying, like, if he's got the money, go ahead and try and go to court for it. I'm not persuading anyone either way. I'm just saying be selective with your energy, the same way that I say be selective with your empathy. You really need to decide where you're going to put your energy, because you can either put it towards fighting with the narc or healing and thriving in your life, and that's entirely your choice. But either one, the thing with fighting with the narc is that you're going to, it's going to be exhausting. It's going to be very exhausting, and there's going to be no replenishment of energy. On the other hand, if you're positive focused, love and forward focused, you're going to, that kind of energy is different, and it regenerates and it gives back to you. So when you're on a healing path, yeah, it's hard. I'm not going to lie, it's hard. But two totally different energies. Negative, positive. Healing and thriving is your goal. Good for you, Melissa. It should be. Because you can thrive, but you've got to pay attention to where, like I said, where you're going to be distracting yourself so that you don't heal, or you're distracting yourself because it's part of your healing. Because what happens is if you're distracting yourself and numbing yourself with Instagram, with television, with alcohol, smoking, drugs, partying, you're going to numb yourself. And then that recovery, when you do have that awareness, when that awareness comes for you that you've been numbing yourself, it's so much more work. It's so much more work. Distract yourself for periods of time. Give yourself, I always tell my clients, if you're doing research and you're dealing with narcissistic stuff, make sure that you give yourself a time limit to do that. And then on the other end of it, make sure that you allot yourself the same amount of time to go do something fun. You need to replenish, rejuvenate. Question, ladies. Teresa says, I'm a very independent woman because of my ex-husband narc. The new ex-narc would do things, then throw them in my face, but to go so far as to call me a man for being so independent. Well, I don't know if that's a question, Teresa, as much as it is just be who you are. Just be who you are. If you remain true to yourself, and this is the thing, when we get involved with narcissists, we compromise who we are in order to accommodate them. Let's not get caught up in trashing the narcs. This is not what these sessions are about, though. It's great to identify with one another, but this is a very love-based, forward-focused place every morning. And I just want to catch that before anybody gets off on a rant. They've taken up enough of our lives, don't you think? They've taken up enough of our lives, and they've taken up enough of our energy, and they don't fucking deserve it anymore. Like, no way, man. No way. Don't be sorry, Teresa. I'm just, it's really great to identify how we keep attracting these same people into our lives. It really is. And that's all on us. I'm not saying the abuse is our fault, but we've got to start setting boundaries so that we don't allow these people in anymore. I focus my love and energy on my children. That's beautiful. I hope you're giving some of that to yourself too, Gypsy Mama. You are worth your energy. You are worth your focus. And every time we talk about the narcissist in a negative or comparative way, we're giving our energy back to them. And Scarlett, how many times have we had this conversation? You are a non-negotiable. You are a non-negotiable when it comes to those relationships, but you're also a non-negotiable when it comes to your energy with yourself. And this is where the self-discipline comes in. You've got to discipline yourself to make sure that you're not distracting yourself and numbing yourself with all of these things, that you're actually paying attention to your healing. And like I said yesterday or the day before, I can't even remember, but if you're not ready to do that, then just accept it. Just accept that this is where you are. I still want to talk about the narc. I still want to stay stuck in that pain body. I don't want to move forward just yet because this is serving me somehow. And accept that that's where you are. It's okay. There's no judgment here. But you've got to respect that not everybody's in the same place as you. I respect that not everybody's in the same place as me, but this is my platform. This is where I come to share love and positivity with you, to help us grow and heal and learn that we can thrive without the narcissist. So I'm a little different that way, where I don't want to be negative. I've had enough negativity. That's what makes me mad at myself. I need to go clean my saddles and bridles. Even have a hard time to make myself go ride my horse. What the hell is wrong with me? Just be patient with yourself, Carrie. I think you don't even have to. I had somebody reach out to me and say, she was ready to give up on riding her horse because the horse kept throwing her off. And now she was starting to fear for her life. And I said, but what energy are you bringing to that relationship with the horse? Animals are a really good gauge of how we're feeling, how we're showing up. And you don't have to ride the horse. Just go and bond with your horse. You're going through something. Let that horse give energy to you. Little Penny has saved my life 1,000,000 times because I pay attention to her. And she's only responding to my energy. I'm so afraid of running into him one day. I wouldn't know what I would do if I ever see him. You know what, Melissa? I literally live 2 minutes away from the narcissist. 2 minutes. And I'm hiding in plain sight, but I don't think about whether I'll run into him. He's discovered where I walk Penny, so he's started making rounds around there. I don't care. I'm not afraid because I've got 911 on my phone should he ever stop and put himself in my presence. That's what they're there for. That's what the authorities are there for. Take your power back. You're only as afraid as you are because you're still giving him power. You're giving him the upper hand and you're not even with him anymore. I'm not afraid because I own my power. Gypsy Mama asked me yesterday if I meditate with crystals. I love crystals. I love everything hippy dippy. I love crystals. I love sage. I love incense. I love all these things. But I don't give my power to oracle cards. I don't give my power to, I have a psychic friend who does readings for me. I believe in all those things, but that's not where my power lies. The narcissist doesn't hold my power either. We're going over the hour here, so over the half hour, so I want to wrap it up. You have the power. You have the self-control, the self-discipline to make sure that you're just not distracting, that you are healing, and to really learn how to enjoy your time alone. Haylotten, we're just wrapping up now, but it's all yours. It's all yours. I'll see you tomorrow. It's 9:34 Mountain Standard Time. I love you guys. I'm Trish with Badass Broad Coaching Company. I'm a narcissistic abuse recovery coach. You can book some time with me by clicking the link in my bio if you want to start on your healing path and get down to the nitty-gritty, hard, dirty work that's going to make your life thrive. Stay badass. See you tomorrow. Go rock the day. Bye, babes.